everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this is the Bible Reloaded, and we're back to do another Chick Tract 2 weeks in a row. Good for you guys.
Does that sound weird? My mic was all the way back there. I didn't notice.
I thought it sounded fine.
Does it sound better here or here? Up there? I got
That's
options.
Fine. That's fine.
Okay.
That's also fine.
Doing a Chick Tract today.
If I turn on this video tomorrow and you didn't cut that section, I swear to fucking God. So today we're doing another Chick Tract. It's called That Crazy Guy, and I just realized I think I didn't give you enough editing to really. Well, it's in there now. That Crazy Guy.
2 weeks from tonight, I'll. That's weird. I'll pick you up at 7:30. Okay, Susie.
Sure, Craig. I find it a little odd that we're planning dates 2 weeks ahead, but those glasses, they sure are dreamy.
It's nighttime, but I can't not wear them. They're my fashion statement. They're my aesthetic. I'll show you how to be a real party animal. Have you noticed the rest of my aesthetic, though? Can you guess it yet?
Marlboro Man mixed with a pedophile?
Close. Burt Reynolds.
Oh.
Yeah, Longest Yard? Deliverance? That other movie?
I'm aware of Burt Reynolds. That's why I said yeah.
Oh.
I never dreamed he'd ask me. I can't believe it. Wow, he's so beautiful. Nothing appeals to me like a man just dripping with chest jerry curl sweat.
And high karate cologne.
I don't want to mess up this date. Messed up the last one by period and all over his face. I'll see if I can get some tips from Miss Damien. I hope she's home. This is new to me.
Is Miss Damien Satan?
I don't think she is. This is new to me, Miss Damien. Can you help me? I grip it, but it's too firm. Or sometimes it's like too much. He keeps saying too much head. I don't know what that means.
Too much head?
Too much tip.
You're only working the tip?
What else am I supposed to do? That's
oh,
penis.
Honey, no, that could be very ticklish.
What if it,
You hold the shaft, and then you rub the tip like a genie bottle.
Oh!
Just like this.
Oh my...
Every guy knows what this feels like. He's uncomfortable. Every guy is uncomfortable now.
I'm not happy about that.
All the girls are like, why, though? Because it's like weird. You ever stick your finger too far into your belly button? Very similar. Listen, kid, as long as you practice safe sex, you can get away with anything. You can just have safe sex. You're not trying to get pregnant or STDs. Just, wrap it up. Maybe a dental dam if there's some warts and you just absolutely have to fillate. There's options out there. You can also, there's the Plan B pill. You could pull and pray, which I don't advise, but that's a thing people think they can do. If you're going to do anal, lots of lube, maybe stretch, be very slow, be careful. Lacey Green taught me all of these things.
Also, I'd like to think they made Miss Damien a miss because Jack Chick thought in his mind all these liberal single women not getting married, teaching kids the safe sex. Oh, Jack, you're a little more predictable than I think you thought you were.
First, you go on the pill, or you can get a shot, or there's also like the NuvaRing things that you can. They basically it's a fallopian tube plug, which is pretty nifty. I'll give you some actually, which is I advise getting prescribed these because it's a cycle for a month and then they put you on sugar pills and then. But anyways, your date's in 2 weeks. That's long enough.
Well, at that point, just give
careful,
her a fucking...
Susie. Miss Damien's advice was wrong. The asterisk is not a source this time. It is a comeback.
At this point, also, couldn't you just give her like a Plan B pill? Why even giving her your birth? And what are you gonna do? You're not gonna take birth control for 2 weeks? Just randomly? You're just not gonna? Or you're gonna? I guess you go to your doctor or your pharmacy and be like, I lost my prescription, but...
Miss Damien only takes it for her skin. She'll be fine. She has Proactive.
She looks like she's in menopause. I don't know why she would need birth... Oh, well, do some people take birth control into menopause, maybe for hormonal reasons? Probably.
I don't know. Ladies, let us know why you take your birth control that doesn't involve semen. And I'll throw in a few condoms, too. Wow, this lady is really great. This lady's fantastic. A teenager came to her for sex advice, and she says, be safe, have condoms, there's birth control, condoms protect against STDs, and 99% effective unless Burt Reynolds has, like, a spiked dong. This is great. This is fantastic.
It's so good to have somebody I can trust.
I agree. I think adults that give responsible sexual education to their, children and children that they love, even if they're not their biological I think that's very valuable in communities across the United States and the world.
You're just a liberal cuck, Jake.
That's true.
This may sound stupid, but, could VD be a problem? For people under 40 in our audience, VD is what old people call STDs.
Yeah, or STIs now.
I was just going to say, and for those even younger, 12-year-old, 14-year-olds, STDs is what normal people call STIs.
Venereal disease, by the way. So are you kidding? VD is nothing anymore. You get a shot of penicillin, it's gone. Unless you're allergic to penicillin, and not all of them are bacterial, some are viral, and yes, that's still an issue. This is where they're starting to lose me, though it is not as big an issue. Like, not a lot of people die from gonorrhea now.
No.
Or syphilis.
No. What a magical time it must have been, like, between the discovery of penicillin and before AIDS. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Think about that. I'm not kidding. If you were to sleep with someone today, if it was someone you didn't maybe know very well, or you just got to know them or whatever, or if it was a one-night stand, I don't give a fuck. You gotta think, at least in some part of your mind, even if you're being safe, well, this is a little bit of a risk. But back then, it's like, what's the worst that happens? I go to the doctor and get a shot. It's fine. No wonder the 70s, everyone was fucking everyone. There was basically no consequences.
This is the new age. Science has everything under control. Don't worry, pussycat. If it feels good, do it. Okay, so there's some... okay, let's break it down. Science does not have everything under control. It has an understanding with itself to want to understand everything. And I don't know about control. Don't call people pussycat regardless of the situation, even if they're an actual pussycat. If it feels good, do it. I'm down with that, but, be responsible. If it feels good to kill people, don't do that. Like... there's limits to that. Unless those people are Eskimos, they don't count.
Craig is so cute and real crazy.
I envy you. I like crazy. What's he into?
Oh, he's into, we get naked. We sit on the bed together and just cuddle real close. He's super crazy.
Do you guys mutually masturbate?
I don't know what that word means.
Oh, it's like... You guys remember DJ Veggie Twat? Go for it, kid. What could possibly go wrong? What? All right.
I like that this is genuinely just a conversation between, I would love this conversation like a sitcom. Just like an elderly, cool lady talking to some lady and be like, yeah, bitch, get that dick.
Blanche?
Yeah, like a Golden Girl situation. Like, yeah, you get it, girl. I think that's funny.
Saturday, 2 a.m. Ain't it great, Betty?
My name is Susie, you jerk. Also, did I mention the entire reason I'm sleeping with you is because I'm so impressed you were able to get the only lover license plate in the state? It's not even lover with a 0 as the O. I don't even know how you got that. That's impressive.
Do it in the dirt, my dude.
He was gross. I never want to see him again. Oh man, I wonder if I'm pregnant.
Well, don't let him come in you.
Why?
Yeah, no babies rule. That's fine. That's okay. If you're an adult, have a conversation with the person you're about to fuck. Be like, hey, what are the rules here? And if they don't have rules, be like, hey, I would like to not have babies with you. Can we avoid that? Because you don't want babies with random people. I was gonna say trust me, but I don't have babies with random people. So trust my observance of other people that have done that. Their life is garbage.
Also, I find it hard to believe she didn't realize he was gross right up until they fucked. Unless he just has not washed his dick or butt in, forever.
Dick or
and
butt?
She got down there. But because you're down there,
What was
it's a dick sucking.
Was she sucking his dick?
Yeah.
She said she's pregnant. That's not...
Well, I'm just saying she might have. I'm not saying
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, dude, live your life. I mean, that's fantastic.
I'm just saying I don't see how she could think he was gross any more than she did before, unless it had to do with the smell from his genital or butt region, which is near the genitals. I'm just trying to break this down and understand Jack. I think in Jack's mind, the headcanon was smelly butt. That's what I'm thinking. And he asked her to, like, toss a salad.
For the record, not into that. Don't touch my butthole. Not a fan. Don't do it.
You don't touch his butthole. You caress
You could
it.
blow on it from afar, though.
How far is afar?
A few inches.
What if is mustache hair contact, or does it only count when it's skin on skin?
Don't butterfly kiss my butthole, Hugo. It's a good way to get pink eye. 12 days later.
I'm not pregnant! Wow, I feel great. I'm safe.
Not quite, Susie. Craig gave you 2 little surprises you didn't count on. The first one shows up from 2 to 20 days after sexual contact.
Why am I burning down there? Oh, that looks awful. What did that...
Oh, Susie, that's herpes. Simplex B.
Oh, I guess I forgot about herpes when I was talking about the STDs thing earlier. I think I've heard like 1/5 of people have herpes, though. Or something.
I have never met a person with herpes.
Well, I think the idea
sexually.
is that in most people, it's dormant. It's just that when they actually do a sample
I think,
and like...
Are they counting the like cold sores that some people get?
Well, I think technically they're the same thing. It doesn't...
Yeah, but still.
Miss Damien, I've got to talk to you, please.
I'm busy, kid. Well, okay, come in. I've changed my mind. If it won't take too long. I'm still busy, though.
I think I caught something from Craig.
Did you pick up a dose of the clap? A dose? A dose of the clap.
I actually got double the dose. I'm oozing twice the discharge.
Do you guys know why it's called the clap?
I do.
Show them why it's called the clap, buddy.
I think this could be an urban legend. I don't know if this is true. But, apparently, when, like, sailors or whatever would go and, like, during World War II or whatever, and go places and get venereal diseases, as they would call them, in order to test it, they would go to the medic or whatever, and they'd put their dick on the table, and they'd clap it, and then discharge would come out, and if it did, they were like, okay, you got, whatever, the clap or whatever, and that's why it's called the clap.
So I this is a funny story. I had science class with this kid, Eric, and he talked like this, and he would say like sugar, and he couldn't do Oz, and so he was talking like this a lot, and he was in charge of delivering the class a report, an oral report on gonorrhea, and he goes, I don't want to do this, Mr. whatever his name was, and he's like, well, you have to because this is what you were assigned. He's like, okay, I don't know much. And then he stands up, and he was clearly uncomfortable talking in front of the class, and he goes, gonorrhea, guay discharge. And I'll never forget that. Thanks, Eric.
Oh, I used to have a speech impediment. Did I tell you that? I had to go to classes for it. And I've
always been just perfect. It's gonorrhea, stupid. Don't you know anything? Wow, I've really turned heel on this. Get out. I don't want what you've got. I suddenly do not understand how any of this works. I was full of shit before. I literally am just an editor at Cosmos, so I don't know things.
Maybe there's 2 Miss Damiens. Maybe she has either multiple personalities or like a twin sister, and one is like super sex positive and educated about sex education, and the other one is just like a crazy conservative. Because the plot of this really does depend upon a complete 180 on personality. It's not like this was just a hidden thing. This is the opposite of what she said before. It's not like we just didn't know this. She said the opposite of this. She said VD's no big deal. You can just get penicillin. And now all of a sudden she forgot, and also isn't aware that VD is only something you can get sexually.
She's spraying Lysol at this girl's vagina.
Did you know that Lysol started out and they marketed it as like a douche to women?
Don't douche with Lysol.
They were like, women, spray your vagina. So it was like I want to say it was the 30s or 40s. So they were like, women's. Let me try and do it. What would be an appropriate 1940s voice? Let's see.
Hey, women!
Women, make sure you spray your vagina with Lysol so your men folks ain't grossed out by your puss. I don't know. But,
I would have said puss, but you probably...
Yeah, you get the idea, though.
They probably would have said clunge.
I like the idea of 1940s men who are supposed to be, like, very manly, you know? Like, but for some reason they're super grossed out by vagina.
But what
you know what? I think I'm going to put this out there right now. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to curious what you think, Jake. I'm going to give you a hypothetical. I have a can of Lysol, and I have a stranger's vagina, okay?
Why do you... never mind.
Now, I can guarantee you and show you the tests that say this woman is clean. She's not a model, but she's not, like, ugly. She's fine. She's a normal-looking person.
Sure.
She's clean in every sense of the word. She's got no diseases. The odor is fine, maybe even pleasant. And on the other hand, I have a can of Lysol. Would you rather, let's say I spray the can of Lysol and just rub Lysol all over the can? Would you rather lick the can or the vagina of the stranger?
Stranger vagina.
Boom, Lysol! Your marketing strategy is bullshit. Anyway. I feel like we just spent a lot of time trying to shit on the marketing strategy of 1940s Lysol, and I don't think it was worth the time. But what did I do?
If you're dumb enough to catch it, then it's your problem. God knows I tried to warn you. What? No, I gotta spray that chair you sat on. She's not just leaking. Oh, okay. Susie, you look terrible. Got a problem?
I'm scared to death. My mom and dad are gonna kill me. For some reason, apparently, I feel the need to tell them. I don't know why. I seem like a mostly, maybe not an adult, but I'm an older teenager that could go to the doctor on their own and be fine. So...
Why don't you just go to the doctor and be fine? Can you tell me about your problem here?
10 minutes later.
Susie, go see my grandfather. He loves people with the clap. It's his thing. He'll do everything he can to help you. And I'll tell him you're coming. Get it?
I like that in Jack Chick's mind, just going to a doctor on her own was never an option. Like, he thinks women have such little agency. It's just so... Oh, God. Is he under the impression she wouldn't think to go to a doctor?
But even so, like, she's going to... Clearly, this is going to be the preacher man.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
She's still going to have the clap, regardless. It doesn't change the facts.
Is penicillin or antibiotics good for gonorrhea? Can't you get rid of that? Gonorrhea is
I've never had it. Yeah, I think so, though. But it's just an infection, I think. But but she doesn't have it, though. She doesn't have any of that. Okay.
Later.
Susan, I ran the tests, and I've got some bad... Is he a doctor, then?
Yeah, he's a doctor. Of course he's a doctor. But that's what I'm saying. She's saying go see my grandfather, the doctor, as if that's the only avenue with which Susie could have seen a doctor.
But she didn't even say it was a doctor. She just said go see my grandfather.
Yeah, it's not very well written.
All right.
It's gonorrhea, right, doctor?
Yeah, you didn't have to finish that sentence. It's obviously gonorrhea. Susan, you're HIV positive.
Oh, she does have AIDS. This was when AIDS was a thing. Cool beans. AIDS? Impossible. Craig wore a condom.
I'm sorry, Susan. You're dying and there's no cure besides money. Do you have any of that?
Also, he didn't correct her by saying when she said AIDS. If you're a doctor, I guess I'm not a professional doctor, but it seems like the minute your patient goes, AIDS, you should go, hold on. You have HIV. You don't have AIDS yet. We can manage this with maybe some prescriptions. And I know this was probably written in the late 70s, early 80s, because obviously HIV/AIDS is a thing.
No, because hold on, the next thing has a little asterisk. It says "Focus on the Family." It's dated at 92. This is made no later than 92.
Okay, no, fuck you,
than
Jack
92.
Chick. You're very uninformed about HIV and AIDS. It's not a good thing, but Jesus Christ.
Susan, there's a horrible lie being pushed today. Experts are claiming that you can have safe sex if you use a condom. But the truth is, the AIDS virus is so small, it can pass right through a doctor's surgical glove. Yeah, but they graded for that now, though. By the time they graded for the... Researchers have found holes in surgical gloves big enough to allow 10 AIDS viruses. 10 AIDSes! Can you believe it? Side by side. And most condoms are made of the same latex rubber. Unless you get that sheepskin stuff because you're feeling dainty and regal. I only fucking lion skin condoms.
Have you ever used a sheepskin condom?
I'm not. No, I have not. I'm trying to think of any alternative penile coverings. No, just the different kinds of condoms.
Now I'm almost curious. I almost want to get some sheepskin ones on Amazon just to see. Just because I'm curious. I think the jokes about sex are one thing, but us actually talking about our personal lives and us actually getting laid, I think made about half of our audience vomit. I'm not kidding. So...
I think most of them are just jelly beans that these two sexy Adonises get laid regularly.
I think Rich Evans said it best. He said, "I'm Rich Evans. I've gotten laid. You have no excuse."
Yeah, it's probably your personality. 100%. If you look any better than us, it's your personality.
Well, I don't know about that. Rich still got laid, and he's Rich Evans. The personality's... I'm kidding. I like Rich. I
love you, Rich.
Apparently, by the way, Rich Evans has watched our show.
Hi, Rich.
And hi, Rich. I don't think you watched... I doubt you'll watch this one specifically, but hi. Oh, or someone send this part to him. Actually, no. You know what? I've looked. He doesn't have a Twitter or anything. He seems like the kind of person who doesn't like social media very much. I don't blame him.
Rich Evans? Okay. At a recent meeting of 800 sexologists, not a single one said they would trust a condom to protect them if they had sex with a known HIV-infected person. What does that tell you, Susan? Okay, so... you ought not have sex with HIV-infected people if you don't want a chance of getting HIV. That's a fact. But you can have... like, there are couples that have been together, like married couples, that, like, through blood transfusion, or they just had it and they knew about it from the beginning. One of their partners has HIV. The other partner never got it. And you can, like, it's...
yeah, I think it's a misunderstanding as far as Jack's concerned, especially because I think to him, and especially at the time, it was 92. Sure, it's not the 80s anymore, but it's early 90s. There's still tons of misconceptions about AIDS, but I think he thinks of it as more single people gay disease, and sometimes maybe straight, because at this point, obviously, they knew straight people could also get it, but I don't know. I don't think he sees that aspect of it, or saw that aspect of it, like maybe falling in love with someone who has AIDS, but you still want to, like, be with that, or HIV, I should say, and you want to, yeah, of course you want to have a relationship with them, and that includes physical, but the point of condoms have never claimed there's 0% chance you're going to catch anything or get someone pregnant. That's not the point. It's a risk reduction. Probably, honestly, in life, all of the preventative measures we've ever invented, condoms are probably the most effective, now that I'm thinking about it. Think about it. They're like 99, some go down to like 95% effective. Can you think of another safety precaution in your life that is 95% effective? I think seatbelts and airbags have a higher fail rate than that. I mean, it's a risk reduction thing, Jack. I don't know why I talk to him still. I miss you, Jack. I wish ghosts were real.
I don't know about this millions thing, by the way. Since the 80s, 1,216,917 people, this is according to the CDC, have been diagnosed with AIDS. Only 1.2 million have been diagnosed with AIDS. In 2014, there were 12,333 deaths due to any cause of people diagnosed with HIV. But so some of the deaths weren't even caused by the HIV. Those are just how many people with HIV died in 2014. Like, millions of people did not die, Jack. You were wrong. This is a cold take.
I'll give him a little bit of leeway on this, considering it was the 90s and we didn't know the progress we were going to make in antiretroviral medications. So.
I suppose, but most of the stuff in Africa, though, like most of those countries are in bad spot. So
the funny thing is, you know what prevented this shit from being millions of people dead? Condoms and shit like that.
Weird. And also, Freddie Mercury died. R.I.P., bro.
It's also unfair. Why did God do this to me?
I don't think God did this to you. You fucked Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, that was his nickname.
Oh. Well, I mean, he tried to stop you from getting these diseases.
What?
Yeah, he set up strict rules in the Bible, and if we obeyed them, VD and AIDS would be no problem. Today, that's not true. You could have concubines in the Bible. You could just... The idea was to procreate with as many people as you possibly could in order to continue your race of people. I don't have time for this.
I'm more transfixed on this background because clearly they set up the gray curtain in the previous panel so they could, in the next panel, save money or time by only being gray. But there's not even fucking texture. It's just gray.
The next one's just black. So
and they didn't even bother establishing why this next one is black. I've never heard about these rules.
That's because most people don't want to hear what God says about sex, Susan.
Yep, in the 1990s, no one in America knew Christians' stance on sex. You're right.
George H.W. Bush, lame president.
That wasn't 92 yet. He was.
They had just come out of H-Dub. That's what I'm saying. They had just come out of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I gotta look that up. Now I'm always time scales on presidents, and the order always throws me.
He was before Clinton. Clinton was in 92.
Was it?
Yep. Because he got out in 2000. George Bush, 2008. Obama.
93 to 93. You're right. I'm sorry.
I'm my own hype man.
I don't want people in the comments to yell at me and say, "Check your facts."
Yeah, I don't care about them. God said there should be absolutely no sex outside of marriage. He said that in Exodus 20:14, and then later on in Judges, they had concubines that you could give up to be gang raped. So, I mean, like, take it with a fucking grain of salt. In the Old Testament, God ordered the death of anyone caught in the act of adultery. This was to protect their family from venereal disease. No, it wasn't. It was breaking a covenant with God. What the fuck? Oh, I can't believe you're adulterating your own shit. I've done way worse to your book so far, but geez. Susan, God created within your body an incredible force that protects you from disease. It's called the immune system.
Quick question. Are there any ethics rules as far as having a doctorate are concerned and being a doctor and having a medical license as far as proselytizing to your patients? I know some careers have stuff like that. I don't know about doctors.
It's a private practice, but I think if it was a public healthcare, they wouldn't be able to, like a clinic.
Maybe.
Whenever deadly germs invade your body, the immune system goes into action and kills the invaders.
Wow, that's heavy. Is this high school student?
Susie, did you just use slang in my office?
Yeah, it's super bodacious.
This is a no slang office. This says so on the door.
Oh, eat my shorts. It's 92.
But now AIDS has hit our land. Our land. This doctor... I can't.
This is a fucking 1950s film strip in comic form, if you can't tell, by the way.
AIDS destroys the immune system, allowing deadly germs to spread throughout your body, eventually causing your death. Also, I'm obviously unaware of lupus and other autoimmune diseases.
No, God punishes those people preemptively because maybe they're gay or something, I don't know. So now that I've got AIDS, which I don't have, by the way, we already established it's still in the HIV stage, we can slow down the progress to AIDS. Let's be clear on that. All I've got to look forward to is death, right?
Oh, I mean, we could manage it with plenty of different antiviral drugs and a cocktail of different pills. I know it's the 90s, it's not all the way up there, but Magic Johnson's about to get this, don't tell him. And he'll be fine. So I just don't see the issue here. Tom Hanks is going to have it in a movie and then not ever again in any other movie. It's weird.
Are you under the impression that they actually gave him AIDS in the movie Philadelphia?
Well, yeah. How would he... You can't pretend to have AIDS.
Can't argue with that.
Wrong, Susan. You'll soon face something far worse than AIDS. You'll face your greatest test as you breathe your last breath.
Okay, now I'm like 90% sure he's breaking some sort of ethics rules. What happens then?
If you were a true Christian, Susan, a true one, God's angels would be at your bedside to take you to heaven. Unfortunately, most people die in their sins because of the strangely analog way in which God decides to save people.
Can we go back a panel for a second and point out that they still did the solid background, but like, we'll mix it up. This time, throw a slightly different gray tone circle.
Is that almost like a 007 thing? And their screaming souls are taken and thrown into that dark, horrible, unspeakable place. Is my face more unsettling because I have no facial hair?
Yes, this looks like a person who should definitely have a mustache at the very least.
Okay, that's what I thought. He looks like he dissolves bodies in plastic tubs. The truth is, Susan, your school doesn't care about you or your soul because it's a school and it doesn't get to care about your soul. Only one person really loves you, and he didn't want you to die in your sins, so he died for you in his sins, which weren't things because he was perfect, to keep you from going to hell, which is what he made for you to go to. Jesus panel. 3 days later, he arose from the dead, a sacrifice. You believe in your death, and yeah. Susan, the Lord Jesus wants you just as you are, except for the AIDS and your decisions and your personality, because when you go to heaven, you're a different person altogether, because you can't possibly be happy all the time if you're the same person you are now, because things that would upset you make you the person that you are because of your likes and dislikes and your affinities and just different things. And you're just not the person you are. He loves you unless you don't love him and wants to be your savior, kind of. He almost makes it so that he doesn't have to be as many people's saviors as possible, but he leaves like the option open. And then ask him into your heart right now.
Okay,
are you wearing a turtleneck?
It's a turtleneck, and I'm wearing a dress also, I think, so...
I very much disapprove of this. I'm glad you have AIDS.
I will. Please come into my heart, Lord Jesus. Thank you for saving me. I'm looking forward to being with you in heaven real soon. Wow, she went through the stages of grief real quick.
It's like a
I'd like to think during that long speech she was giving, she was in her head going through them like... What? No, I don't have AIDS. Well, maybe if I did, and then by the time he got done, she was fine with it, and she's fully accepting of the death. I'm not gonna lie, this one was a little anticlimactic. She just got AIDS and she's gonna die. We didn't even get a scene of anyone go. Like, I was hoping we'd see cowboy Marlboro Man McSmelly Dick. I thought we were gonna see him like in hell or something. We didn't even get that though. I'm a little disappointed.
I feel obligated as a guy who runs a channel that, we appeal to people who are about to be sexually active, and that's a little sad on my part, but also I feel a little responsible from a baby bird. So listen up, mama bird's gonna feed you. If you're gonna have sex with anyone, wrap that shit up, or have them wrap it up if you're a lady or a dude that wants to take it. Even if you're gay, honestly, try to take preventative action, even if you're both virgins, partly because it'll just make the experience better because you've never done it before, and they have lubrication, and there's a whole bunch of shit. But also, like, it's just safest. It's just safest. Eventually, you'll get to that point with someone where it's like, okay, well, we're both clean, and we're monogamous, or you're not monogamous, but your multiple partners are clean. Whatever, however your fucking situation is, eventually you can do that. That's no big deal. Eventually. But it's not worth it. It doesn't, like, the I can't feel anything. It's not that big a deal.
Not to mention, I'm gonna put this out there. If you're like one of our people in our audience, and you're like 15, and you're like whatever age you are, 15's a little young. I'm gonna push that up to 17. Let's say you're 17 and you're about to have sex. That's a little more reasonable. I still think, but if you want to or whatever. I don't know why you wouldn't want to wear a condom, because you're definitely going to last like 10 seconds anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So you wear the condom. You might as well.
The condom will make you last longer, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's good. Dude. That's good for you. Also, ladies, it's you're going to want, if it's your first time, you're going to want the extra lack of friction. Just do it. I don't want to make it weird. But you're not going to talk about this with your parents, because you watch us. You're clearly estranged from them. So... and anyone else, like, AIDS is not, it's not a death sentence. Like, get it. You could make it. It's okay. Like, just also disclose diseases to people that you're gonna fuck. That's fucked up. Don't, like, if you have herpes, let them know. Like, hey, it's not flared up right now, but I do have that, and I want you to know. And if you don't want to fuck me now. That's okay. I get it. Most people will still fuck you because they plan on fucking you. You know what I'm saying? Most people are okay with the idea because condoms are things that will fix that, and also herpes is totally manageable. And so like just different stuff. Like, be really open about that stuff. No reason to be a prude about it.
I think too. There's actually an interesting video. I mentioned it, I think, a couple episodes back, and some people properly identified it. But I guess I didn't say the video, so I'll say it here. If you want an interesting video on the AIDS epidemic under the Reagan administration and moving forward, how it was handled, and it also ties into the musical Rent, and how that was a reaction and possibly a not good reaction to the AIDS epidemic. And I believe Lindsay Ellis made that video. Her channel is called Shay Lindsay, and it's called it's something like "Look Pretty and Do as Little as Possible" or something like that, because apparently that's what someone in the Reagan administration said about dealing with the AIDS crisis. It's a really good video, and I'm sure a couple in our audience are going to be like, Lindsay Ellis, because she does some videos, and she does film videos, but some of them, she often looks at films from a feminist theory perspective.
Sure.
And people in our audience are, but I love her videos. I think she's excellent.
I've never seen her.
No, I think they're really great.
You cuck!
But anyway, that's my recommendation, and my other recommendation, we mentioned Rich Evans. Go subscribe to Previously Recorded or Red Letter Media, but Previously Recorded Sim and Jack's project, so do that. They are undersubscribed.
Yeah, they're good guys.
And, yeah. And
man,
finally,
just talking about all this, I feel so lucky. I've never contracted anything ever.
Yeah, well, good. You know what? I'm curious. I'm not going to ask anything more personal than this, but have you ever had a pregnancy scare?
Yeah.
That you didn't want? I haven't.
But I haven't, like... It was more of a false positive than a positive that we took care of.
It could have been a situation where it was like positive, but then
miscarriage. I don't know, but I don't know what it was, but it didn't happen, obviously.
Yeah. Good.
So
I've never.
And I wouldn't acknowledge it if it did, so it's fine.
What? 7 illegitimate children? What? Anyway.
Yeah.
Someone, do you want to introduce this, Jake? What someone sent me and will be sending you?
So my buddy Aaron, really good guy. Play video games with him all the time. He's very angry. We play League of Legends. If you know anything about League of Legends, it makes people angry. He's the angriest. But I love him to death. He does model painting sometimes. He dabbles. He's not like a professional or anything, but he did this thing for us, and I thought it was pretty sweet. I guess just show him before I do it. He did pop figures, like custom ones. He molded clay and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Firstly, for reference, if somehow no one knows what a pop figure is, I don't know. There are a lot of stores.
There's like
I have one. Yeah, I have one right here too. This is like the 4th Doctor from Doctor Who. This is what he looks like as a pop figure for reference. Sure. Firstly, here's me as a pop figure. And, I should have worn the hat that I'm in this. I have my Green Ranger hat on that I wear sometimes.
That's pretty sweet.
I didn't realize people even noticed this, but on the bill of the hat, there's a dragon. He actually even put the dragon on there.
Nice.
Nice. My shitty face beard. Not bad, not bad. You know what? I appreciate he didn't do solid, like, manly beard. He did the sort of splotchy beard I have. I respect that. I like that. It's I like it. I love it. It's going to be on my desk forever. And then the one you people are probably more interested in. The one, the only. You want to introduce this, Jake? I can't do the voice, right?
Harold Penisman!
There you go. This Harold Penisman. I didn't know I wanted this until I had it. And it's one of my favorite things I own now, I think. This is fucking
Mine's
amazing.
in the mail, too. There's going to be one of me. You'll see it on my setup eventually. And I'll have a Harold Penisman as well. That's fucking so rad.
I know. It's really cool. I love it.
Love you, Aaron. I'll make sure our Patreon manager sends you some swag, even though you didn't ask for any.
Yeah, I didn't even know they did this, but I guess pop figures, you can just buy blank ones and then paint on them.
Yeah, that's what he did,
or whatever. It's cool. It's very, very cool. I like that idea. That's awesome. But you guys can't have one. I'm sorry. Wouldn't that be great? We've talked about before 3D printers in the future, and maybe we'll do something like that. 3D printed those.
We need a little bit. We need a couple more years of success out of this before we can probably afford the overhead on that sort of thing. But we'd like to be able to sell that kind of merch. We could even do limited runs, like there's only 100. And
we could do it as Patreon things or free gifts with other things. We definitely can't sell these though, because I guarantee Pop Figures owns the copyright to like this style of figure.
Anyways, that's it. Have safe sex, or don't have any sex if you're asexual. That's fine too. Don't feel weird about any of that. Just live your life. Man.
As long as it's not hurting anyone and it's all consensual.
If you want to fuck kids, it's not okay. Don't fuck kids.
No. Or animals.
I'm sorry that you feel that you have to, though. That sucks.
Yes.
I do sympathize on some level that you want to fuck kids, but once you fuck a kid, nah, it's over. I have no sympathy for you because you know it's wrong. But they're making kid sex robots. You could fuck the shit out of those. I don't care. Fuck all the kid sex robots. Fucking army of kid sex robots.
Oh my god, the live action lolly is gonna be fucking horrifying. Yeah, oh my god.
That would creep me the fuck out, because eventually we're going to get into the uncanny valley and it's going to be... Whoa. But until then, fuck all the sex robots you want.
Follow us on Twitter at Bible Reloaded.
Yeah, I'm getting cringed. Hugo Reloaded. I couldn't remember what your shit was. Patreon.
Subscribe to this robots. And subscribe over at the Quran Reloaded, by the way.
Yeah, they brought ads back on our shit a little bit.
A little bit. So definitely go over there. I've really been enjoying the Quran that we've been doing, so if you like any of this shit, go over there. And if you don't like Quran studies, we still do, like response videos to shitty Islamic apologetic shit, and that's fun. So.
Yeah.
So until next time, I'm HIV negative, as far as I know, I guess.
Same. I've never even had a scare. Like, I've never had, like a dick pimple. Did you get dick pimples? Is that a thing that you can get?
I have.
I've had like the razor issues, like when you get ingrown hairs and stuff, but
nope, I've had dick pimple. Like, yep, it's weird. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a thing people are supposed, like, not like a normal pimple, but like
how far up was it?
Not like a pimple that forms like a whitehead, but like you can tell something's weird, and if you squeeze it a little bit, stuff comes out. Like, not the, you know what I mean? Like a pimple. Like if you squeeze something in your arm and a little like thing came out, like a blackhead. Like that, but on my dick.
Well, I'm scared to ask where. Where at?
Just on my dick. Just on, like, not on the tip.
Well, there's several parts of your dick that I'm...
Just on the shaft
Now
section.
I'm thinking about your dick too much. I'm thinking about the structure of your... We're done. We're done. It's over.
My mom watches this show. Hi, Mom!
He had a dick pimple. You made that.